Hello, Ryder. This is Kara Murphy. Thank you for submitting a video to my 5-Minute Coach. I'm happy to be your coach. So I'm going to try something different today. I've never used the pause and rewind button, and I'm going to give that a shot as a coach today. It seems like it might be even a little bit easier so that we can keep watching the movements that I'm talking about. So, for example, we're going to rewind right now. So I'm watching you go through a small line. I'm guessing this must be a younger horse for, because of the size of the jumps and also the way you're riding. It seems like your goal is to be very relaxed and not get in his way. I like that goal. I think that's right. I think that's smart to do with young horses when you're teaching them to jump. However, if you watch, a lot of people make the same mistake that you're making, which is to be a little too loose. And it's a fine line. You want to be relaxed, but at the same time, you don't want to be so loose that you're making extra movements up there and distracting your horse from learning his job. So, for example, what I love about your position are your elbows. Watch your elbows here. Great. I love how you keep them in. Even though your reins are long, you're real careful to keep those elbows in and keep your elbows from flopping out and your hands from curling and accidentally pulling on him as he goes over the fence. So that's great. However, because your reins are so long, it puts you just a tad too far back in your position, a little bit heavy in your seat. As you'll watch, you sit down between your jumps. Now, ideally, you wouldn't sit down, especially not in the middle of a one-stride gymnastics line. You want to make sure that you keep your seat out of the saddle. I'm guessing that this horse is just a little bit lazy, and you're using your seat to kind of boost him over that second jump. So my suggestion is to do some transitions before you come to the line. Get him a little bit more, going off of your leg as you approach the fence, a little more responsive to your leg. Maybe you do some halt trot transitions on the long side, on the other side of the arena before you get to the gymnastics line, so that you don't feel like you have to sit and boost him over that second jump. But again, love the elbows. It's great. Love the fact that you're looking up through your line. Okay, you've got some movie credits here in the middle of the movie. And here you are again. One more time through this line. Watch those great elbows. Very good. Okay, so now you go into some flat work. Now this is a really cute horse. This is a terrible trot. Okay, he's just being a little sticky off your leg. I saw your instructor there wave her hand. I'm guessing that she's telling you to move him forward. That's definitely what you need to do. And that's getting a little bit better. Now, here's the problem again. As you're sending him forward, getting him moving a bit, your reins are again too long, and it's starting to make you curl your wrists. Now, one thing that's really important with all horses, but especially with young horses, is to keep a direct contact. When your reins get long, let's back that up. When your reins get long and those wrists start curling, it's an indirect contact. You can be a little rougher on their mouth than you think you're being. It could be part of the reason that your horse is a little bit sticky off your leg, doesn't want to move forward. Okay, you really got to uncurl those wrists, keep your elbows in, keep a very straight line from your elbow to your wrist to his mouth. Okay, and then that trot is starting to get better. You're starting to move forward more, take a bigger step. I'm guessing he's a bit lazy and a bit sticky off your leg, and a great exercise to help with that is to do some transitions within the gait. So within the trot, have him shorten and then lengthen, and then shorten and then lengthen. And if you watch there, I'm going to back this up. So now you've got him going forward. These circles here, but it's almost like you begin to race. And that's the problem with horses that are lazy off our leg. It's one extreme or the other. You get them going and then you forget to take a half halt and you forget to help him balance. So watch him throw his haunches around these turns and throw his haunches out of his circle. The reason he's doing that is because he's not balanced. He's just racing around at the trot, and he needs a little help with those turns. So let's watch that one more time. So don't forget to teach a young horse like this who might be a little lazy. Don't forget to teach him how to half halt. Watch these haunches. Woo! Okay, he just isn't learning how to sit down on his behind and balance himself. You can do that with real small circles. So, so small that he has to shorten his step and balance himself. You can do it with squares. Squares are a great exercise to help a horse learn how to control himself around the turns. And then you popped over a jump there. Let me back that up and just show you what I mean about your rein length and your wrists. So I talked before about curling your wrists. Watch over this jump. You can really see it. Okay, so you think you're being light in the contact and a nice relaxed, way of riding, but you actually ended up pulling a little bit over the fence because your wrists curled, your elbows popped out. Oh, let's talk about that transition. Why'd your horse get the wrong lead? Your horse gets the wrong lead because, starting right there, he's not very balanced, he's not bent correctly. You're on the incorrect diagonal, and you only sit for long enough to kind of goose him into the canter, not even to give him any warning about what he's about to do. Let's watch it one more time. I'm a big stickler for sitting the trot. Sitting the trot for long enough that you get a nice sitting trot, you're balanced, your horse isn't resisting the sitting trot at all. He's ready to accept both your seat and your leg and to listen to the canter transition. Okay? So one more time. All of those problems could have been avoided if you just sat here for, I'd say sit a good half of a circle with the young horse. Make sure you do plenty of sitting trot before an up transition and before a down transition. Now, because of the problems just picking up that lead, you're still not quite put together. Your lower leg's swinging. Oh, you're trying to keep him going, but the reins are a bit long. And as you go over that fence, your position just wasn't as good as it was when you were doing that one stride line earlier. So watch here again. Okay, lower leg swinging, heel is up. Now, another thing that makes me think of is it's really hard to go from a circle to a straight line. That's I know that sounds silly, but that's really hard, especially for a young horse to do. So as you're circling here, then you take him into that straight line to the jump. He wants to trot, doesn't he? He wants to trot the very second you start to go straight. Right there. He just can't keep his balance as he goes from the circle to the straight line. So again, I know I bring up squares a lot. I love squares. So I just backed up the video again to the point of your transition up to the canter here. We'll watch this one more time. Okay, so he's making a nice circle. This, if you know you're going to be going down the straight side to do a jump, ride a square. Okay, so that he has 4 straight lines and 4 square corners, and he is prepared to make a straight line to that jump. Okay, he has the balance to do it, and you don't have to, do everything you can just to keep him at the canter. You can focus on the jump a little bit. All right. Again, I think that you're getting tired. I think he's getting tired. So you're losing that lower leg a lot. You just need to shorten your reins. That just has to happen. It has to happen. Again, don't make the mistake of thinking that you can't be soft on the horse's mouth with short reins. It's entirely possible. In fact, you'll do better with a young horse with those short reins because your elbows will be in, which will in turn affect your whole position, which will in turn affect how soft you can be on his mouth. So this is your last exercise. I really like what's been set up here by your instructor. I think it's great to do these long straight lines, long approaches. I like the one stride. It keeps the horse paying attention, gives him something to focus on. I love how you are really careful to get a real straight approach. You're using all of your space as well as you can. You're also very careful to go straight after your fence. So many people forget that. Young horses learn very quickly how to dive around their corners if the rider's not careful. And then just lastly, I want to comment one more time. Again, you've just got to do some transitions within the gaits so that this horse starts listening to your leg a little bit more, so you don't feel like you have to go around the whole course using your seat so much. You've got to get out of the saddle with this horse. Just let him go around his jumps with you in jumping position, staying real still up there. Otherwise, you're doing a wonderful job. Really cute horse, really cute pair. Looks like you both have a lot of potential.